Hi my best friends, welcome to this new video about perspective. In this tutorial we will learn how to draw one point perspective. Okay, first step for drawing each model of perspective is drawing horizon line, and then I choose vanishing point on the horizon line, and I think the middle of paper is a good for locate vanishing point in this one point perspective example. Then I draw a rectangular surface, and then I add two other surfaces in the foreground. So the rectangular surface is in the background and I can show setback by it. Then I want to convert these two square surfaces in foreground into gables. And for drawing gables, as you see, I divide the top side of square surface to two parts, and then I draw a vertical line, and then I connect the top of vertical line to these two corners of the square or rectangular surface. I want to add some thickness to my drawing, so as you see, I draw this gable shape again. So for drawing each thickness, you should draw some parallel lines next to each other. After adding thickness to my facade, I want to draw some setbacks of facade according to the vanishing point. In this example of one point perspective, all of the lines along the y-axis are converging to the vanishing point, and the lines along x and z axis are drawing in normal condition and they don't converge to the vanishing point. Here I want to draw a platform for my building, and the building is a little bit higher than the ground, and the shape of platform depends on the shape of the building in this example that I am drawing. It's better to draw the shape of the platform based on the shape of the building. After that, I draw the height of platform, then I draw these parallel lines as tiles thickness. I draw the slope of stairs, and then I draw the stairs one by one according to the vanishing point. In this example, the risers and treads are converging to the vanishing point, and the stair stringer is drawn in normal mode because the riser and treads are along the y-axis and they should converging to the vanishing point. In this setback surfaces, there are some windows, and for showing the window, I draw some parallel lines that these lines show the windows frame. Then here I add some horizontal lines, and little by little I add more details to my drawing, and my drawing look more real. After drawing the windows, I want to draw some materials and add some details to my drawing. Different materials can be used, for instance wood, metal, tiles and other textures. Now here I add wood material, and I want to draw some parallel lines for showing it, but as you know, I'm drawing in perspective and these lines should converge to the vanishing point. Okay, after adding wood material, I want to draw an extruded rectangular surface here, and as you see, the depth of space is along the y-axis and converging to the vanishing point. And after that, I draw this little square garden, and it has a depth along the z-axis. In the next step, I add more details to this little square garden. Here I want to draw some vertical lines to make a texture and add more details to my drawing. Here there is another window, it's a white window in the background and under the extruded rectangular surface with vertical frames, and after that here you'll be able to see the inside of building. So I draw some pale lines for showing the setback and the depth of each inner space. The platform has some columns and I draw some vertical lines as columns, and after that I draw some diagonal lines for showing the bracings. Okay, I want to draw some topographic lines around the building for filling the surrounding space, and in every kind of perspective and drawings in isometric view, I always prefer to add more details around the building, for example topographic lines, trees, bushes, stones and other natural items. Here in this little garden I want to draw a tree. I draw a tree trunk firstly, and after that I draw branches and so on. Okay, I add these curved lines between the topographic lines. It can show the slope of the land better. I keep on drawing, and here I draw some fading lines for showing the shade and shadows. After that I hatch this stringer and this extrusions and some other fading lines here. Okay, as I said before, you can add more natural items like a stone or bushes, and there are 2 or 3 stones in irregular shape and some bushes that grows between them. After drawing some natural items, I look at my drawing again and I try to add more details. For example, I draw some another vertical lines here and some fading lines on windows. Now it's time to color my perspective. Rendering to make it more beautiful and understandable and make more real. I chose this light brown for coloring the exterior walls, and after that I mix darker brown with it for showing shadows. You can use different brands of markers for coloring. For example, I choose a light brown from New Touch brand, and I choose a darker brown from Basic brand. You can use another brands like Uhuhu markers or Touch markers that they're so popular. Now I want to say you a very important tip about rendering. Shadows in rendering are so important, and you should color the drawing according to the sunlight direction. In this example, the sunlight direction is on the right side, and according to it, the surfaces and spaces on the left side should be darker. In every kind of perspective, setbacks are darker than the extruded shapes, so you can use darker colors for background spaces. I use the brush markers because I can draw fading lines easier by it. Then I color this wood texture by dark brown, and this marker that I use for color, this part is the Q-Color brand and its number is 765. I use the lighter brown for shadows of this part on the ground, And after that I wanna color the windows frame, and most of the time I use dark gray or black for windows frame. Borders between two surfaces should be appear, so when I use two different dark color, I can draw borders and bold them by white pen. Okay, for glass rendering, I choose blue-gray marker and color it horizontally. There are different methods for glass coloring. You can use various colors or various designs. And actually we show the sky and environment reflection on the glass because the glass is clear itself and has no color. Also, you can use more than one color for render this part and mix them together. These wooden beams should be brown. The bottom surface is darker because of the less light and they're in opposite part of the sun direction. And here I add more shade and shadows again. Another color that I wanna mix with brown is gray. Gray is the most practical color in each exterior or interior perspective or other drawing. For example, I use gray for color the ground, stones, thicknesses and other parts of my perspective. In the next step, I wanna color the columns and bracings by gray marker, and after that I wanna color the topographic lines as the left side. I color topographic lines by gray and brown. I add shadows to some parts that they're adjacent to the building. Also, for coloring each perspective and another drawing, you can use colored pencils and mix them with markers. So you can use different tools for coloring and don't limit yourself to only one tool. Now here it's the most interesting part of rendering, the sky rendering. I think it's so enjoyable and amazing, and you should try it once. I used this pale blue too and colored the sky again, and as you see I used that pale blue that I used for the glass texture before. You should choose the same color for sky rendering and glasses because the glass color depends on the sky, and as I said before, the glass is clear itself and it has no color. Finally, I use the colored pencil for the sky coloring, then I draw two other trees in each side of the building for add more details. For drawing every kind of trees, firstly you should draw tree trunk, and after that you should add branches or leaves if they exist. Because in this example the trees don't have any leaves, and I only draw branches and some points for filling the space. I want to color the top side of the platform, and I use the gray marker again. I pay attention to the sunlight direction to draw some shadows. Backgrounds and deep spaces, as I said before, are darker and have more color. After coloring this part of the platform, I add some palm trees by black marker. You also can use dark gray, but I always prefer the black marker for drawing palm trees and other bushes on the ground. Here I wanna draw some tree reflection on the windows because it makes look more real. I can draw palm trees reflection on the glass. I want to use the light green again for showing the sky well, and in each time you can look at your drawing and perspective and analyze it, so you can add more details or more colors if your drawing needs it. This drawing is finished and I hope you enjoy, practice and share with me.